Right now at 10, candidates for La Crosse Area State Senate debate crucial issues. And elementary students get hands-on with medical field opportunities. Plus a preview of this year's Rotary Lights.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Emily Brown. One of the men charged in the death of an Altoona man has been sentenced. 36-year-old Xavier Thompson was sentenced today to 22 months of initial confinement and 5 years of extended supervision. Thompson and Michael Purnell were both charged in connection to the death of Christopher Connor back in September 2022. Connor was found with a gunshot wound at an intersection in Eau Claire. He later died in the hospital. Thompson was charged with multiple counts of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. Purnell is facing multiple charges, including felony murder. His sentencing is in December. A federal grand jury has indicted two for allegedly distributing drugs. Stephen Johnston and Ashley Russell are facing charges of
Yeah, we got fire danger going on for the next couple days. That'll be the big story for Thursday and Friday as the winds pick up and the humidity levels remain low. So something to keep in mind of as you're out there and about too. As we look at really overnight temperatures, will be about 10 degrees warmer than we were this morning, given that the winds have turned around. So instead of being in the mid-20s, we're more in the mid to upper 30s. Some of the colder spots still in the upper 20s, but all in all, it will be slightly warmer as you wake up. Now overall, we'll climb quickly back up to about 58 by noon, but notice the winds picking up about 15 to 20 by noon, even stronger in the afternoon time frame. Same story for Eau Claire. That wind definitely will pick up after 8 a.m. Sunny skies, though, getting back up to 59 to 60 degrees. Now, as you look at the temperatures right now, we're still in the mid 40s in some locations, but other locations have kind of cooled back down into the upper 20s, but we shouldn't see much in the way of drop off after night, given that there's nothing to the west. Warm air is going to begin to push over east over our area as the high pressure pushes to the east. Really, the next system to watch is well to the west, so we're looking at pretty good above average temperatures for the next several days. In fact, we'll kind of break down how long this above average pattern will last and also give you an update on the winds and the relative humidity going into the fire weather danger that we have Thursday and Friday a bit later.
Did that skeleton get his moves from you, Greg?
He does. He's very happy right now. I mean, I would be on the other way. I want the colder temp. So he's dancing because he's not cold.
He's not cold. All right. Thank you, Greg. Candidates for the La Crosse Area State Senate District shared ideas and priorities at an official debate this afternoon. UWL hosted and News 8 streamed the event between incumbent State Senator Brad Pfaff and Republican candidate Stacey Klein. Taxation was a popular topic. Wisconsin has a $4.6 billion surplus. Klein criticized Pfaff for voting against tax breaks policies that included removing one of the 4 income tax brackets, as well as items that removed tax on retirement income up to $150,000. Pfaff says Republican policies favor a flat tax, something he doesn't believe is a good thing for the state.
Senator Pfaff talks about targeted tax relief. There were 4 separate tax relief bills that came through the legislature in the last session. He voted against 3 of them.
I frankly do not believe that it's fair that a teacher who makes $50,000 a year should pay the same tax rate as a multimillionaire that lives in Madison or Milwaukee.
From WKBT.
Now, the one item Pfaff agreed with Republicans was an increase to the child tax credit. This is Klein's first campaign to earn a spot in state government. She currently serves on the nonpartisan Trumpeau County Board. A well-known IUD called FreedomWomb is helping raise awareness for reproductive freedom. State Representative Jill Billings and former La Crosse County Board Chair and Assembly candidate Tara Johnson hosted an event for World Menopause Day at Riverside Park in La Crosse. The event aimed to shed light on the upcoming election and how it might affect the right to contraception and reproductive freedoms.
I think that because we've just handled things ourselves, now we're under attack, partly because of ignorance. I don't think people really understand what goes into managing our health care.
Speakers also discussed how contraception can be used to manage menopausal health and addressed concerns about threats to reproductive freedoms. Minnesota First Lady Gwen Walz joined a virtual call this morning to tout the Harris-Walz campaign's vision for rural America and protections for reproductive freedoms. The First Lady highlighted how Tim Walz's new rural plan aims to support health care in rural areas by offering scholarships and federal loan repayment programs to healthcare workers. Walz also explained how her family's own experiences with fertility treatments fuel their support for nationwide IVF access.
In our journey, we had access to fertility treatments, and that made it possible for Tim and I to have a family. And without that access, that would not have been possible. And I cannot imagine that we, as a country, are contemplating when, if, or how people can start families.
Senate Republicans blocked a bill to provide a nationwide right to IVF treatments, dismissing it as a show bill. However, former President Donald Trump and other GOP lawmakers have expressed their support for access to IVF treatments. Congressman Derek Van Orden met with local cranberry growers today in Black River Falls. He toured the cranberry research facility with local cranberry owners, showing support for his campaign. Van Orden emphasized the cranberry industry's importance to both the district and state.
These folks are an integral part of our economy here in the state of Wisconsin. And agriculture isn't just agriculture, it's our culture.
He also touched on a few key points regarding his contributions to the industry. Local elementary students are getting a dose of medical inspiration. Gunderson Health System brought Science Day to La Crescent Hoka Elementary School this morning. Students interacted with a range of medical professionals, including doctors, UW medical students, and nurses. The event introduced kids to things like human anatomy, x-rays, and first aid, potentially sparking future careers in medicine. And it's a special year for Rotary Lights in La Crosse as they celebrate 30 years of lights, fun, and giving back to the community. This year's display will have several events, including visits from Santa, an Ugly Sweater 5K, and an inclusive night where lights and music are lowered for people with autism. Rotary Lights has over 3,000 volunteers as well as support from 110 nonprofits. Event organizers say community involvement allows them to put up the display and give back to those in need.
Not only do they like the idea of a great holiday lighting display, but I think a lot of people believe in the cause of to feed the hungry as well, especially that time of year.
Each year, they collect food donations for pantries and food banks. Over the last 30 years, they've received over 5 million donations. Put in the panda as this year's bear. They will have 3,500 bears for sale for $20 each. Proceeds will go to the Hunger Task Force. Candidates are making their final push to the White House. More on the latest campaign stops after the break.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true for over 6 decades. Toyland is now open, and we have unbeatable celebration savings throughout the store. Like this Barbie and convertible or remote control SUV, $19.99. Extra laundry detergent, 4 for $10. These women's CGCG shirts, just $19.99. Plus, make your holiday wish list on the Farm and Fleet app for a chance to win up to $1,000. Don't miss Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland celebration, going on now.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Get ready for the holidays and save money during our fall sale at Interior Designs Holman. All of our carpets are on sale. You'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimates in your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More sofas, more recliners, more mattresses, more of everything. You're going to find whatever you want, and you're going to find plenty of it. And it's all priced to go with 0% easy payment plans available. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else. Come visit us today.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
In Pennsylvania, Vice President Kamala Harris launched a new push to win the support of Republicans. Former President Donald Trump is working to woo the Hispanic vote with an appearance on Spanish language network television. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides reports from Miami.
Joined by Republican supporters in battleground Pennsylvania, Vice President Kamala Harris said if elected, she would work to build unity.
And on the other hand, the choice of someone who I think we can guarantee will sit in the Oval Office plotting retribution.
On Wednesday, Harris sat for an interview with Fox News, which began with the contentious issue of border security.
And from day one then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings.
In a televised town hall with women voters in Georgia Tuesday, former President Donald Trump touted his White House record.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We had never had an economy. And remember this, we also had the safest border in the history of our country. We never had a border that safe.
As he seeks to return to the White House, Trump has called for the mass deportation of people who are in the U.S. illegally.
We want workers, and we want them to come in, but they have to come in legally. They have to love our country.
Wednesday, on Spanish-language TV network Univision, Trump fielded questions from Florida voters. Trump still trails Harris with Hispanic voters, but polls show her lead over him with that constituency is much closer than the percentage of votes President Joe Biden received in 2020. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
100-year-old former President Jimmy Carter cast his ballot in the 2024 election on Wednesday. The Carter Center says the Democrat, who is living in hospice care, cast his vote by mail. His son Chip recently said his father was trying to live to vote for Kamala Harris. Former One Direction singer Liam Payne was found dead after falling from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires on Wednesday. That's according to local police. Few details are available at this time. Payne was 31 years old. The band, which also included Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan, first formed in 2010 after each member appeared on the UK version of the show, The X Factor. One Direction announced they were taking a hiatus in 2015. Coming up, click to cancel. An FTC ruling just made it easier to cancel subscriptions.
We're jumping looking at windy conditions for Thursday and maybe Friday. That increases your fire danger along with warmer temperatures. We'll break down what the wind looks like, what your temperatures look like, and more importantly, what the weekend also looks like. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for defund the police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us. Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Today at Wesco in Sparta, it's interest-free. Free! 24 months interest-free, 36 months interest-free, even 48 months interest-free on everything from beautiful furniture for every room and premium mattresses to flooring and brand-name appliances. Choose the home furnishings you want. Then Wesco lets you buy interest-free to suit your needs. 24 months interest-free, 36 months interest-free, or even 48 months interest-free. It's an interest-free for all today at Wesco in Sparta.
It's Ford SUV season in the Northland. Time for great offers across the entire lineup, including Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. Get ready for the coming season with weather-ready features that make life easier, like heated seating, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Amazing offers on your favorite Ford SUVs. This is Ford SUV season. Now lease a new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport for just $309 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Think you know Steve Doyle? Think again. Doyle refused to protect our daughters, forcing them to share bathrooms and locker rooms with biological boys, and voted to force girls to compete against boys in sports. Doyle believes dangerous puberty-blocking drugs should be given to minors, and gender reassignment surgeries performed on children. Keep kids safe? Steve Doyle says no. Ryan Hipsch, focused on what matters, helping families with rising costs and protecting our children. It's just common sense. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The federal government just made it much easier to cancel your gym membership. On Wednesday, the Federal Trade Commission unveiled its final click-to-cancel rule. It requires businesses to provide a way for consumers to cancel their subscriptions that's just as easy as it is to sign up. That includes everything from gym memberships to digital streaming and cable TV service. The rule takes effect in 180 days after being published. Well, it certainly felt like fall today. Fog in the morning, then nice and cool later in the day, but we are going to be warming up a bit these next few days. Let's send it over to Greg for the latest.
Yeah, kind of like that click to cancel. You can click to cancel fall or even winter again, because we're going right back to more like late summer conditions, at least close to Labor Day. But we do have a fire season that goes on in the fall, and this year things have kind of come together, unfortunately, because we've had an extended dry period about starting early September. La Crosse is actually over 3 inches below average since September 1st. Now, the fuels are been drying out. They typically dry out this time of year, and they do basically die because we've had frost or freeze, so that's already occurred. We are going to see a stretch of warm and especially windy weather here the next couple days, so that does give us a recipe for a fire weather conditions, the risk to come up. So here's our drought conditions too. That has helped too, especially further north and west and north as you go to overall some drought conditions. This will be updated tomorrow. I would expect conditions to get at least a little bit worse for most areas because we haven't seen precipitation. Now for fire weather, right now we have red flag warnings out to the west. That means critical weather conditions are likely going to occur. We're under fire weather watch just west of the river, so basically northeast Iowa, southeast Minnesota. That could be upgraded tomorrow to a red flag. Outside that area, still conditions are going to be elevated, maybe not quite as bad. They're worse as you go further west, but everyone's going to see very dry conditions, very windy conditions tomorrow too. That'll be the main feature for Thursday. Breezy, even warmer. The winds might be a little bit less on Friday, but the temperatures are going to come up too again. And then this weekend, we're looking at a very warm weekend, more like mid to early September like weather. Not as much winds. And I'll say temperatures could get all the way up to the upper 70s. Now the system out to the west ahead of it is producing strong winds out of the south. These color shades give you an idea that yellow is about 20 miles per hour. If you get up to red, you're looking at 40. So tomorrow you're going to see this whole area begin to expand with 20 per hour winds all the way up to northern Wisconsin. Gets a little bit stronger to the west. Now that'll continue. It'll taper off a little bit at night, but we still could see some gusty winds overnight into Friday, especially further west you go as the system gets closer. Now for Friday, the winds are not quite as strong. You see not much yellow or even red as you look further to the southwest. So it might be a tad less windy on Friday, but still it'll be there. And then here comes the system for the weekend that's going to provide a little bit of cloud cover coming through as we go through Saturday. But notice not much precipitation at all with this system coming through as we go through Saturday and eventually Sunday. So The only thing this weekend you'll see is probably a little bit more cloud cover on Saturday, but not expecting any precipitation, and we'll have lighter winds. The winds will kind of turn around behind this, so the winds won't be a problem as much for this weekend. Here's your relative humidity. We're going to start off fairly 50%, but by the afternoon, we're looking at relative humidities in the 20s, maybe even some areas could get in the teens. So very dry conditions, and that is a recipe for any type of fire that could spread. There's your temperatures for tomorrow, upper 60s, 5 to 6 degrees above what we had today. Better as we go into Friday. We're going to look at temperatures actually going to get even warmer, and temperatures will climb well into the 70s. And then this weekend, as mentioned, we should see upper 70s on Sunday. There could be a system coming through Monday into Tuesday that'll cool us off just a little bit. In fact, that 58 towards the end of next week is actually where we should be at that point too. So all in all, it's going to be a warm stretch of weather. Dry, not much in the way of precipitation. So if you like the warmth, it's coming back here. So just be cautious of any fire stuff going on for tomorrow and Friday.
You know what I really enjoyed? That fog this morning. It really got me in the spooky spirits. Yeah, it really felt like Halloween season. Are we getting more of that?
Well, not in the next couple days. So that won't feel like Halloween much at all.
I hope it comes back. I really loved it. Okay, thank you. Coming up in sports, it's the final week of regular season high school football in Minnesota. Highlights from a few area games before the playoffs start up next week. Jacob is in next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
Taco John's new 2 for $5 Fiesta Chicken Tacos are here to Fiesta. Grilled old white made chicken is here to Fiesta. And creamy Fiesta sauce is obviously here to Fiesta. That's kind of its thing. New 2 for $5 Fiesta Chicken Tacos at Taco John's.
Hi, I'm Danielle, General Manager here at the Board Store. In 1989, when I first saw my dad on the TV talking about high quality and low prices, I wasn't quite sure how I felt. But now, 35 years later, with this exceptional showroom, high quality products, knowledgeable staff, and the best installation crews in the area, I couldn't be more proud. And we look forward to continuing to serve all your home improvement needs for many more years to come. Come see us at the Board Store.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil. Your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose American Waterworks.
I served in the United States Navy to protect and honor my country, so it makes me sick to know it. But our Congressman, Derek Van Orden, participated in January 6th, the deadly Capitol attack where 140 police officers were injured and 5 ultimately died. Van Orden was there. Then he lied about it until social media posts proved Van Orden was there. As rioters attacked it, he dishonored our country. Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
Vote Vets is responsible for the content of this advertising.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
It is the final week of high school football in Minnesota, so that means Wednesday night football. Sounds a bit odd, but who doesn't like more action on the gridiron? We'll begin with Caledonia clashing against Pine City. There we go. Let's start things off with this man right here. Ethan Stendel had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter and looking for more as Caledonia is up 14-0. He pump fakes and takes off for the first down. Stendel also shows off the other side of the ball, slicing through the line and getting to the running back for the loss right there. Next Warrior possession, Stendel is going to wind up and fire it to Mason King. And this is going to be a big gain as they try to put more points on the board. They would end up punting, but that will not matter as the defense would blow up the run play to shut out Pine City in the first half, and that shutout would continue as Caledonia wins in a rout, 40-0. Over to Spring Grove as they're taking on Mabel Canton. First Spring Grove drive, it's Bryce Burns calling his own number and weaving his way through. gives a hand to the face of the Cougar defender, can't bring him down. He flies the end zone for 6. Ensuing Cougar drive is Isaac Underbach slinging one over to Darian Hirschberger, who takes it to the crib. Mabel Canton would convert the 2-point conversion to go up 8-6. Next Lion drive, it's Burns again, this time faking the handoff. He gets some blocks up ahead and turns it down the sideline to put his squad back on top. And the home side would take control from there as they go on to win this one by a final of 40-16. Winona taking on Rochester Century under the Wednesday night lights. In the first quarter, Dion Prolo with the quarterback keeper. Looks like he gets stuffed, but he gets away and runs it in for a touchdown to start the scoring. Then right before the end of the quarter, it's Prolo again with the rush as he barrels through to extend the Windhawk lead. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2-point conversion is good. That makes it 15-0. And a couple minutes into the second quarter, Zachary Epps with a huge punt return to set up his team in good field position. And not long after that, Jaden Blank wants in on the fun. He is going to break off a big run to add to the host score. Winona goes into the playoffs with a dub, 32-13 the final. In Houston, the Hurricanes hosting Kingsland. Pick this one up. Home side down 7-6. Maddox Rodriguez gets the carry, finds some space, bursting down the sidelines for a big-time game, but the drive would come to a halt. And the ball thrown up to Rodriguez here as Caden Ryder is going to sky for it and pick it off to set up the Knights. And they'd cash in on the turnover. Kaleem Ryland takes the snap, surveys the field, delivers a dime, and that hits Zach Ryland right in the numbers, and he coasts into the end zone to make it 13-6. But Houston hits back. Morgan Roheder goes deep, and he puts it on Axel Vicks, and he is in for the score. But in the end, Kingsland takes it 38-28. And now the Play of the Week nominees, getting us going at number 1, an impressive showing by Sparta last night in a 3-0 sweep of Central on the road. Lauren Schanhofer led the way with 13 kills, one of them right here as she climbs the ladder for the point. At number 2, it's more volleyball action from last night, and it's Hillsborough's Michelin Hansen with the quick reaction at the net to catch the Cashton defense off guard. The Tigers would go on to win and guarantee at least a share of the Scenic Bluffs title. Some football for number 3, it's former Aquinas Blue Gold standout Jackson Flottmeyer, now with Winona State. He is balling there. He had 3 touchdowns through the air and then ran for 2 more in last Saturday's game against Hugh Mary. Follows his blockers here and scores in the 48-7 thrashing. Coming in at number 4, Scenic Bluffs football, Bangor's Tanner Wells going to read the out route, jump it, and he is gone. Hurdles a would-be tackler on the way out, and that right there is 6 points. Bangor took it to New Lisbon by a final of 57-18. And from good defense to maybe some not so good defense for number 5, or maybe just fantastic offense, Ethan Smith of Cochrane Fountain City snags a pair of ankles on his way to the end zone. That is a touchdown, 1 of 3 for him in the Pirates' 30-point win over Oliva Strum. To place your vote for the Play of the Week, head to news8000.com and under the Sports tab, click on Play of the Week. Voting ends at 5 p.m. on Friday. That's sports. More news after this.
Ever have one of those days? Yeah, one of those days. We're here to make your day brighter. Q Ultra's A+ accounts, turning bad days into A+ days. Say hello to convenience and security with online and mobile banking, contactless debit cards, and mobile wallet. Plus, better rates, no minimum balance, and no fees. Make every day an A+ day. Open your account online today or stop by your local Ultra office. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life, one stress-free day at a time.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true for over 6 decades. Toyland is now open, and we have unbeatable celebration savings throughout the store. Like 4 packs of Hot Wheels monster trucks, just $12.99. 1-pound bags of Dots Homestyle snacks, $5.99 each. Rewards members save an extra $1. Plus, donate a new unwrapped toy to Kids Helping Kids, and we'll match donations up to $250,000. Don't miss Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland celebration, going on now.
Billionaire banker Eric Hovde has a plan for Social Security.
Do you favor either raising the retirement age or cutting benefits? I favor both.
Raising the retirement age?
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Hovde wants to raise the retirement age as high as 72. And Hovde just proposed cutting Social Security by 28%, costing the average beneficiary more than $6,000 a year. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
From sunup to sundown, Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning has been servicing our Cooley region for 59 years. Whether you're in La Crosse, Onalaska, West Salem, Holmen, or La Crescent, take comfort your heating and cooling needs are met with our trusted staff, longevity, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Be ready this fall and call Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning for your furnace cleaning check today. Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, your local train dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
He thinks he's better than us. Derek Van Orden said, "I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman." So it's no surprise Derek Van Orden would cut Social Security and Medicare and give more tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. We earned those benefits with every paycheck, but Derek Van Orden thinks he's better than us. Don't let Derek Van Orden cut Social Security and Medicare. Your community PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
The astronaut wears Prada. This is the spacesuit astronauts will wear on NASA's Artemis 3 moon mission. Specially engineered boots will allow astronauts to spacewalk for at least 8 hours a day. And the suits will be made of a white material which reflects heat, offering protection from extremely high temperatures and lunar dust. About 10 Prada employees worked on the spacesuit, traveling between Milan, Italy, and Axiom's base in Houston. The Artemis 3 mission is currently scheduled for launch in the second half of 2026. Its goal is to put the first astronaut back on the moon since 1972. And of course, you got to do it in style. Greg will have one final look at your forecast when we come back.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WIN Senate is responsible for the content of this message.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
One of the most frustrating things I see is married folks letting money fights ruin their relationship. The reason this happens is because they're simply not on the same page, they're not on the same team. Money management is a team sport. If you want to learn more about money management, come see me, both of you. I'll be the bad guy, I'll be the referee, and get you on track.
As a working mom, I'm feeling the pain of inflation. Everything costs more these days because of Biden and Kamala's wasteful spending. And while we pay more, they're giving away our hard-earned money to illegal immigrants. Tammy Baldwin is just as bad. Baldwin voted to give amnesty and taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. She even gave them government stimulus checks and free health care. We can't afford Tammy Baldwin and her handouts to illegal immigrants.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
All right, don't forget the fire danger tomorrow is going to be high, especially further west you go. Red flag warnings or fire weather watches are out. So the wind will be a story, and the temperatures will improve for Friday. And then this weekend, if you like warm and dry conditions, you definitely got your weekend for you.
Looks good.
Look forward to it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight at 10. We'll see you tomorrow.